Hello and welcome. This is Vanessa Growlish, and today we're going to do the math behind the gross income approach. How do we do this? Well, the income approach is basically a method that we use in real estate to estimate the value of a property using either the gross rent multiplier or the gross income multiplier. So let's go ahead and do an example. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to share my Excel that I have here. Let me see if it works. Okay, I think I'm right here. Okay, so as you can see here, let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Okay, as you can see here, if you want to figure out the gross rent multiplier, this is very, very simple. Look what you do. The first step is to, so you have a subject property that you want to, that the information that you know is that the monthly rent, and I'm going to put it right here, is $300. That's all what you know right now. And you're like, okay, let me go ahead and get a comparable one on the market, figure out what is the monthly rent, figure out what was the sales price, and from there I'm going to get the gross rent multiplier. So you get the comparable, and you go ahead and you say, okay, the comparable sales price is $10,000 and the monthly rent is $250. So you do 10,000 divided by 250, and boom, you get 40. 40 is going to be your gross rents multiplier. And from there, you go to your subject property, and you're like, oh, you know what? I know that the monthly rent is $300. Well, you also know that your gross rent multiplier is 40 because you calculated it before. So all what you do is that you do 300 times 40, so the monthly rent times the gross rent multiplier, boom. You can then estimate the property value is $12,000. Now, what about, this is just basically if you have, like a small property, right? But what about if you have a building? How do you do it? Well, this is when you use the gross income multiplier. It's going to be the same logic. And let's go ahead and do an example. So let's say that your comparable property, right? Just exactly what you did before. You know, the only information that you know right now is that the annual gross income of the subject property. Remember, the subject property is the property that your client wants, or the property that you want, is $4,000. So you find a comparable, right? And you see that the sales price is $20,000. And you also find out that the annual gross income is going to be equals to, and I'm just going to go ahead and put here equals to, let's put 1,200, right? Then from there, you can go ahead and say, well, the comparable sales price, 20,000 divided by 1,200 is going to give me a gross income multiplier of 16.67. And from there, you remember that the annual gross income of the property being appraised as the property that you want or your client wants is 4,000 times 16.67, and boom, you get that the subject property value is $66,000. Now, here, obviously, this is just basically an estimate of how to find the gross rent multiplier, rent multiplier, gross income multiplier. But these are good things to know, because from here, you're going to be able, basically, like if you have to talk to an investor, or if you basically want to do the math yourself, then, you can understand basically what you're doing. Anyhow, I hope you enjoy it, more the math behind real estate and businesses, and we're going to be having a lot of good topics, so please stay tuned. You can also watch me on YouTube, and I'll see you in another podcast this week. Thank you, and have a good day.